She always got nailed, yeah.
Somebody always cried, and it was usually
Not in the tub, though. Debbie always had fun in the tub.
Wasn't it Debbie who threw the
hammer at me?
No.
Don't tell that
She
story.
threw the hammer at me. See, can you see the scar right here? I think I have a scar.
You didn't mean to throw it at him.
See it?
You threw a hammer at your brother?
I always read that story of Dad being typically Dad and going, someone said duck, and of course went, what?
No, he was being obnoxious.
That was how I read that story.
Not
No,
Stuart.
Debbie was standing up on the mom's bed, mom and dad's bed, with a hammer. And she said, I'm going to throw this hammer. What was she going to throw a hammer for? And I said, I don't remember what I said, but then she threw the hammer and hit me in the head.
See, I always heard that story of Debbie, like, when I'm going to throw the hammer just to, like...
Debbie was trying to rid the world of a menace early in her life.
She still has a Jeep.
And we all got in the bathtub at the same time. My mother had 3 of us. We were pretty close in age, a couple of years. And she put us, the little bathtub like this, and we'd sit right next to her. Well, she put all 3 of us in the tub.
We sit like a train.
We'd sit all 3 of us in the tub. But then we would all get sometimes we'd all get at one end. Right next to each other, right butt to butt. And the water came in on one side. And Janie was remembering, I hadn't remembered, but until she told me about it, that we would turn the water on and then try to, who would feel the cold water first, as it came out. Of course, the person sitting right next to me was going to feel it first.
You were 3, so it didn't matter. Anybody else cheese? What kind of cheese? Provolone or Swiss?
And it was my idea, so I always act close.
Thank you, Kate.
Because you'd win. With that.
You guys, does anybody need anything from inside?
Anybody your mother now?
But I still adore you.
Oh, see, that's what everyone thought I was cute.
That's what.
That's why you were such a horrible person.
No, that's why he's an okay person.
No, but I thought he was here.
And went on their motorcycle.
Oh wait, I did. That wasn't bad. I did that right in front of Mom and Dad.
Those horrible people.
I rode on the Osmer's
Motorcycle.
big Harley Davidson. That wasn't so bad.
I rode on somebody's big motorcycle. I don't think it was ours.
But we always walked on the other side of the street when we went by their house. Yeah, and you rode on their motorcycles?
Yeah, but this was after they moved out of the tenement and into that little hovel down by
That makes it better?
From the tenement to the hovel. Sounds worse, actually.
Were they the ones that lived near...
Step down.
They used to live between
Remember that tenement?
So brothers, brothers are done,
I remember.
and I think you need to go build them in there.
And we're telling
come back here.
childhood stories.
But we don't want to be
Yeah.
too regional like
I
Stratford.
want to hear your stories.
My childhood stories, I had a boring childhood.
Jack was just telling us how you.
I don't think you remember
wanted to rat him out.
when I had those fireworks that I bought in Virginia, and I was hiding them in my closet, and I finally went up to the. So you don't remember, and I went up to the foundation of the Griswold's house that was under construction, and I just brought them up there and was setting them off, and you followed me up, and all of a sudden
Did you know that Martha
and no,
was
I
following you?
didn't, and all of a sudden turned around, and there you were. He said, "Oh, I'm going to go tell Mother and Daddy." See, she doesn't remember.
Selective memory.
And I had to quickly persuade you not to rat me out, and you did. You covered my backside.
Perfect child.
Yes, Martha.
Girl.
It was funny. To your mother, you were relaying that. What was that again?
I don't think it matters if you embarrass her or not, because you're telling the story yourself anyway.
I haven't ever heard it.
What was that
I
again?
was in 8th or 9th grade.
And you're following in the footsteps of a smart older brother.
Following the steps of an older brother who was a straight A student.
Stewart, presumably.
No, Johnny.
Older brother John. And you're taping this.
Yes, I am.
So maybe I should lie. So, I was an okay student. I just I wasn't up to the Milton Academy standards. They were, if you didn't go to Milton Academy and go to one of the Ivy League schools or the Seven Sisters schools back then, you weren't going to graduate. So my mother went in for a meeting with the headmistress, Miss Johnson. And Miss Johnson was talking to her and saying, you know, like, Mamie probably needs to go someplace else, but I don't think she'll graduate here. And then she looked at my mother and she said, now, if we were discussing John, this would be a whole different kind of conversation. And my mother said, I'm not here to talk about John. I'm here to talk about Mandy.
Good for her.
Good for your mom.
So, and then I went away to a boarding school, and there was, in that 9th grade class, I think there were 7 of us left. Patsy Sylvester, myself, Spook Wilder, and a bunch
From
of
Milton
the kids.
Academy, you mean?
Polly Farnham, and there was my best friend whose name was Betsy, and I won't say her last name, but her aunt was the principal of the lower school. Her mother and father had, okay? She should have gone right along with the rest of us, okay?
But she stayed at Milton.
She stayed because they wanted her because they had money.
But there was more to the story about your situation, and there was a line that you said was used. Your mother said, I'm here to talk about Mandy.
Mandy, I'm not here to talk about John.
Yeah, but there was another thing that was said
Okay.
that you told me. I remember it.
I don't know.
To the effect of, what was it?
I just remember
well,
my mother
no.
was a little miffed that she was comparing me to my older brother.
Well, she should be miffed because they shouldn't have compared.
Right.
You're your own person. And I think your mother said words to the effect like, well, what was your favorite sport? Soccer? What was it?
No,
Lacrosse
field
or tennis.
hockey.
Or field
Whatever
hockey.
you were doing a lot of, field hockey. Whatever you were really good. You wanted to do sports. And my recollection is the admissions person said to your mother, well, then she's going to do sports at another school, or words to that effect.
Oh, yeah, probably was. She'll have to go if she wants to. Oh, no, I know what it was. She said if Mandy wants to graduate from high school, she has to go someplace else.
Okay, that's
She's
what
not going to graduate from Milton Academy.
Okay, so that's what that was.
The headmistress of Milton Academy
Way back.
told my mother if I wanted to get a high school education, I was going to have to go someplace else because I wasn't going to get in.
And you did. You went to Bremer May.
No, I went to Rogers Hall School in Lowell,
It was
Massachusetts.
one of the best
Oh,
things.
I thought you went to Bremer May.
Those two did.
Oh.
Janie and I did.
And then I met,
never
I
went to
have
Milton.
my closest friends are the kids that I went to school with. And they were, some of those kids were so cool. I learned such bad things.
And I was, just chit-chat with all these people that were a generation older than me. And just for, just to make conversation, I said, wow, I'm kind of going through my 40s crisis. I just turned 40. And all the women in the room, like, swiveled and turned. They looked like they wanted to devour me. We'd like to be 40 again. Now I understand.
And I used to weigh 155, but not anymore. Really? I did. I weighed 155.
Oh my God. Oh, that's too funny.
funny.
That is really cool.
I know. The last couple of years.
You and I are the same age.
I know we are.
We're all pretty much.
You look a lot younger than me.
Except for you, and you, and you.
So what do we have? We have
And I'm not going to ask, but I'm wondering what these...
You look young.
Johnny and
I know exactly, and you know exactly.
I'll talk about it.
You think we're a bunch of old geezers, right?
No.
Well, when we loved our aunts and great uncles, whatever, but back in the day when we were young,
they were so
seemed
old.
to be
Ancient.
old. You know what I mean?
Who? Who are you
Our
talking
parents.
Our parents
Like,
and
well,
our
not our parents, not our parents. Great
Aunt Martha and Aunt Libby and Aunt
Grandpa
Avis.
Crocker, you know. So just,
No, it's all
They-
it was
relative.
they were
different.
all. We're all relatives,
Now
right?
we're old.
I mean, can
Right
you
now,
see
we're that generation.
Grandpa Crocker
That's
in
right.
a t-shirt and shorts? I mean, no. It was just different. It was just different.
So, you know, as I was putting this together, and I was having so much fun talking to all of you about this, my oldest son, Sam, who can't be here, but obviously, wrote me and says, or maybe it was you, Kate, who said, you should have t-shirts.
Like the Yellow House t-shirts.
Yeah, so we need to do that.
Okay.
I did not.
And what
They need to
would
be
you
better
call
designed.
them?
I don't know, what will we call them?
What is the name of this event?
Oh, I don't know.
This is the
Cape House?
we
The Crocker House?
the Cape House,
The Cape,
The Cape House?
the Bass
It's a Gilmore
River.
House.
That's right.
the Bass River House.
Wait, you gotta get the
What do
date
you
in
call
there.
this
The
house? You and Jack between you.
2012 Bass
The
River
Cape House.
Bash.
That's how
Dash.
no,
Bash.
reunion. Reunion
So
bash.
Janie, have you
And
you
Ann and Gail could do the
spoken
decorations
about-
and